My name is Aubrey, and today I'll be walking you through a project I created for my typography class as part of my MCAD graduate program. Specifically, this was a publication design project where we were encouraged to create a fictional magazine concept and really think about the logistics of putting that publication out into the world in what it looks like in places like point of purchase, amongst other magazines, all of that sort of stuff. So initially, we were encouraged to create some mood boards and think about what we did want to create. And I created two. One was social media related, the other was a music zine. And eventually, I landed on a concept that was inspired by these, but a little bit different, called Daily Intake. And the idea is that this is a fictional blog that's successful enough that individuals submit their own essays and writings, all related to social media, to this blog, and then quarterly, Daily Intake publishes the most popular or favorite ones, all related to a specific topic. So, personally, I'm really interested in social media and its effects on modern life and mental health. So, for this one, I decided to create the heartbreak issue. And to test out kind of these different masthead concepts for this magazine, I mocked up a few different versions with different ideas for cover imagery, different layouts, kind of playing with what sort of vibe I wanted to follow. And what I landed on was something similar to this version, and I'll show the final version in a moment, but I think something that felt kind of quirky, modern, since social media is a relatively modern concept. I wanted to move in that direction, where it's people who are drawn to things like the New Yorker and the Paris Review, like I am, and really want to get into a story about the human experience, would want to pick up and enjoy. So this is where I landed on the final cover. The idea would be for every issue, there will be specific colors based on the imagery and the topic at hand for that quarter. So for this one, I really loved this neon image of the 0 likes and used the blues and the reds from that to create kind of this fun pastel high contrast look. Something I did focus on too were grids. So I used a 7x7 grid for all of these spreads, and I'll show examples of that in a few pages here, but this is the inside cover. So this is what the table of contents looks like. We feature another image here. We're using a little bit of iconography from social media like the heart. And then the left side is the idea here is that this would be a poster that viewers could and fans of the magazine could kind of rip out of the magazine and put on their wall, or, just kind of a keepsake from this publication, and to dig deeper into the theme here when someone opens the magazine. And a big thing as I went through designing this was just focusing on typography. I chose a lot of fonts from social media, like Facebook, Instagram, a lot of Helvetica, and that sort of thing, just to make sure that everything was really steeped in this social media idea, kind of that umbrella topic here. So this is the feature article, so the main article that's featured on the front cover, drawing people in. And here again, I'm playing with that 7x7 grid, and I think the difference between the last page and this page is it shows how much variation you can have in one grid when you choose something really complex. I love like a 7x7, 8x8, 9x9 sort of grid because it gives me a lot of flexibility as a designer. So you can have a spread like this, and here's the grid in action. And then you can have like the second spread. So it's still related to that first page, but it's showing how you can bring in imagery. You're still kind of using this quote call out thing in the same way. And the text is still very easy to read and sort through, but it's interesting and the reader is not getting boring as they could be reading through a pretty long story. And here's the grid for this one as well, just showing how the same grid can be used in a lot of different ways. And then something else to complement the publication itself is a style guide. So another designer could come in, get the idea of the brand essence, get the idea of how the logo should be utilized, things like color, typography, imagery, and design elements, so that they understand the foundations and could run with it to create the design for the next quarter or any quarter. And then here is a look at this publication mocked up. So we have the feature spread on its own, and then we have the cover and the second spread of the feature. I think it really shows just in action. This is a really clean publication that would get people's attention, and something that's interesting and kind of modern and unique, a little quirky, like the theme of the magazine itself. That's all I've got. Thank you.